This story was about an ordinary girl named Tomoyo, who instantly became a criminal even though she had never committed a serious crime. She accidentally met people who were included on the list of the well-known criminals called Akudamas. The story started when Tomoyo went out to buy takoyaki and one of the customers dropped a coin. Tomoyo saw it and was about to give it back to the man, but the man did not accept it because he believed that loose coins were unlucky, and after that he immediately left. Tomoyo was about to pay for her takoyaki, but the storekeeper only accepts cash and she did not bring cash with her. Even though she had a coin that she picked up, she did not use it to pay for the food, causing the storekeeper to call the police. She was taken to the Kansai police station and was asked to explain there. On that day, the execution of the most wanted Akudama, named Cutthroat, would take place. But an unidentified person invited other Akudama to save Cutthroat, and whoever could save him would receive a reward of 100 million. There were Akudamas who answered to this challenge, and those were Yuichiro, known as Courier, Shunsuke, who was known as a brawler, Shun, who was a hacker, and Megumi, a doctor. But the mastermind gave Yuichiro another mission, and that was to bring a suitcase to Cutthroat. The Akudamas who were invited started their work, and Shunsuke went to the police station first. He threw the robots that were blocking him onto the second floor where Tomoyo was located. Tomoyo saw a black cat and was worried that it might be hurt from the debris. Shun arrived and immediately entered and hacked the station server. Yuichiro also came, and while he and Shunsuke were in front of elevator, Megumi released the gas to knock the people unconscious. But it did not affect Shunsuke, so he threw Megumi where Shun was located. The four of them faced each other and all were ready to attack, but suddenly Tomoyo showed up, who just caught a black cat. They all intend to kill Tomoyo since she was not one of the Akudamas. Out of her fear of being killed, Tomoyo lied and introduced herself as a swindler. And said that she was not on the list of the Akudama because she used a trick to remove her name. Suddenly a bigger robot came and attacked them with missiles. The robot chased them, and when the prison was broken, Subaru, also known as the Hoodlum, escaped. He heard that the reward for saving Cutthroat amounted to 100 million, so he also joined the challenge. When they got into the execution area, Yuichiro was cornered by a robot. Tomoyo saw this and caught the robot's attention to help him. And this gave Yuichiro the chance to finish off the robot. Because of this, Cutthroat was able to escape and killed the policeman who was assigned to instigate the execution. Then Yuichiro gave the suitcase to Cutthroat. The suitcase contained collars that he put onto each of them. After giving them the collars, he surprised them by telling them that those were bombs. At this moment, the black cat that Tomoyo saved spoke. It turned out to be a robot, and the person controlling it was the mastermind who invited them. They were told that it was phase 1, and because they succeeded in freeing Cutthroat, they were all given a reward that they thought only one could get. The cat informed them that he was just checking to see if they were eligible for the Phase 2 mission, which had a reward of 1 billion. This mission was to attack the Shinkansen that can only be used as a transportation between Kansai and Kanto station. Before the cat continued explaining the mission, they went to a different location. They took a flying bus, and when they arrived at the 7-star hotel, the cat continued giving them with other information about the mission. Their job was to steal a 1.5-meter vault carried by the Shinkansen. But it would not be easy to get inside the Shinkansen because Kansai Station had the most extreme security of all places. And the Kansai Central Information Bureau, or the SEAL Center, was there. The cat added that the Shinkansen would only stay at Kansai Station for only 20 minutes. Megumi said that this mission seemed impossible because it was difficult to enter the Shinkansen. After learning all the information they need to know, they got excited and understand why this mission was worth billion. Suddenly, the door was destroyed by Akio and Yumiri, the two executioners who came to seize them. Yumiri fought against Shunsuke while Shun immediately left with the cat. When Cutthroat helped Shunsuke, Akio threw him outside. Then Megumi tried to attack Yumiri, but Yumiri got ahead of her. Yumiri could not find Tomoyo's name in their database, so she thought Tomoyo had made changes on it. Shunsuke continued his attacks on Akio, but he got beaten. Until Yuichiro activated his motorcycle's weapon and shot Akio. Because of this, they all escaped and none of them was killed. When they returned to their headquarters, Akio talked to their boss, named Yoshiko, and he promised her that they would not fail next time. He also showed what they saw at the hotel that was possibly the plan of the Akudamas. Meanwhile, the cat began to tell his plan and instructed Tomoyo to retrieve the vault. They would sneak in the Shinkansen once they enter Kansai station tomorrow at 7 p.m. When the Shinkansen arrived at the station, it would load some cargoes, and during those times the security would be disabled. This was their chance to enter the Shinkansen. After entering the station gate, they would take the elevator to the Shinkansen. But this elevator has two buttons located on different floors, and they must be pressed at the same time for it to work. Because of this, they must be divided into 3 groups. Tomoyo together with Cutthroat and Shun would go to the top to press the button. Then Megumi, Shunsuke and Subaru would go downstairs while Yuichiro would do the task alone. They would use a cargo, then Shun would enter it, and had to modify the register of this cargo to be accepted. Once inside, Shun must disable the plasma shield so that they can all get inside it. Tomoyo pretended to be one of the delivery men. When they entered, they immediately went up the stairs. The separate group saw the same button on the elevator, but those had shields. Cutthroat used his knives to break the shield, and Shunsuke removed the poles one by one to destroy the shield. They successfully pressed the button at the same time, so the group of Shunsuke was able to climb to the top. They activated the cat's carrier from the Kyushu plant that caused the power to shut down in the whole city. Since this was the signal for Yuichiro, he immediately drove towards the Shinkansen. Shun had a problem modifying the cargo which he needed to enter through the Shinkansen because there was no electricity. Since it was necessary that the one who would enter the cargo was lighter than Shun, Tomoyo volunteered to do it. She managed to get in and immediately disabled the plasma shield as Yuichiro got in at the same time. After the Shinkansen left, the executioners, Akio and Yumiri, came and decided to chase it. Meanwhile, the group only had 10 minutes left before they reach the absolute quarantine zone. They planned to complete the mission before they arrive at the area. Suddenly the executioners came that surprised the group, so they quickly ran to the next room. Shunsuke left behind to fight Akio, then he threw Yumiri that almost hit Megumi. Yuichiro wanted to get his motorcycle back because it can be used in the mission, so he was also forced to fight Akio. Tomoyo and others were able to enter the next room while the rest of them was still fighting the executioners. With the strong force of Akio's punch to Shunsuke, he was thrown to the next room. Cutthroat joined the fight and Subaru also decided to stay behind. As the 3 entered the 2 rooms in a row, they found out that the Shinkansen also had passenger seats. So Tomoyo thought that there were some people who were able to travel from Kanto to Kansai. The cat suddenly mentioned the decontamination zone. Even if they survived the absolute quarantine zone, they still need to go through the decontamination zone, and there was a possibility that they might die there. On the other hand, Yuichiro fought against Yumiri until Megumi also attacked to help him. While Cutthroat and Akio were fighting, Shunsuke was fed up with his repeated defeats. When Shun opened the next room, a robot suddenly attacked them from the security room. Yuichiro got his motorcycle back and immediately left Yumiri behind. Shun was able to control the guarding robots, so when Yuichiro and others arrived in the room where they were, Shun used the robot to get Shunsuke and Subaru. Then Yuichiro immediately cut off the other part of the Shinkansen to separate them from the executioners. When they arrived at the vault, the cat disappeared and a seal was left to open the vault. When the vault was opened, they saw a boy named Maya and a girl named Kana. Since Maya's voice was similar to the cat's voice, they found out that this boy was the mastermind in the plans and in controlling the cat. When they got out of the vault, Shunsuke thought the mission was over and he wanted to leave to fight Akio again. But Maya said that the mission would only be completed if they were taken to a certain location in Kansai. Shun decided to stay behind so he could reach Kanto. He also was able to remove the collar so Maya could not use it to make him follow any of his commands. Meanwhile, Yumiri thought that the Akudamas were dead, but Yoshiko found out from higher officials that they were still alive. Yoshiko informed the 2 about this as well as their suspension due to their failures in seizing the Akudamas and for letting the criminals take the contents of the vault. As the conversation continued with the Akudamas, Megumi wanted to know the identity of Maya and Kana. But Tomoyo stopped her from questioning the 2. Then Maya showed the coordinates where they were supposed to be taken, and it was to the Expo Park. Yuichiro knew this place, but he did not understand the last 6 numbers. Maya did not say what the numbers meant, for they would soon find out. Yuichiro suggested that they could go through the drainage, which he thought a faster way to the shown coordinates, and they would have to leave after 4 hours. With the current situation, Yoshiko declared a search and destroy operation to the 7 Akudama, and all members of the execution department were involved in it. Yumiri had watched this order and found out that Akio had left to find the Akudamas. When Akio found them, he fought against Shunsuke. While Yuichiro took Maya and Kana on his vehicle to escape, but Akio managed to stop them, so Yuichiro also fought against him. As the fight continued, Tomoyo ran away with Maya and Kana. Cutthroat joined the fight but lost both of his legs. When Akio was about to kill him, Cutthroat turned Maya into a shield so he could stab Akio by passing through his hand with a knife to Maya's stomach, causing its backpack to be damaged too. Tomoyo thought that Maya was dead, but his wound healed quickly. Then Megumi returned Cutthroat's legs so he could fight Akio again. Shunsuke helped in the fight, and this gave Yuichiro and others a chance to leave. Meanwhile, Yumiri went to Yoshiko to talk about Akio. Yoshiko said that Akio was ready to risk his life and to fight until death. While Akio and Shunsuke were fighting, Yumiri arrived and witnessed the moments that both gave their strong attacks, causing both of them to fall. When Yumiri checked on Akio, Subaru arrived and attacked Yumiri with the executioner's weapon. As Tomoyo and others reached the exact location indicated by the coordinates, Maya turned on the switch, then suddenly part of the ground rose above. Maya said that the 6 numbers that Yuichiro did not understand were the underground coordinates. When Yumiri woke up in the hospital, she realized that one of her eyes was gone. While Subaru arrived to meet the others and informed them about Shunsuke's death. Despite this, they continued and entered the elevator that brought them to the bottom, where they saw a rocket. Maya told them that this was what they would use to escape and reach the moon. It was then that he told the other who they were and the story of their past. At the Kyushu plant, Maya with his siblings were being experimented. But it was only him who was repeatedly being used as a test subject. After completing the experiments on him, his siblings suddenly disappeared. According to what they call the headmaster, he would be sent to Kanto as an offering. Then his siblings' bodies were shown to him floating in a pool. The headmaster said that the plant would create another immortal like him as his companion. Then Kana was created and they began to travel using the Shinkansen. After the disappearance of a black cat that they knew as their professor and guide, Maya was able to regenerate it and used it to communicate with the Akudama. As they were going up the escalator to get in the rocket, Megumi suddenly attacked Kana. She betrayed them, and when she was able to get hold of Maya, Yoshiko and the other executioners appeared. Maya got a chance to escape and Yoshiko told him that the moon was just an illusion. Then Yoshiko ordered the executioners to attack the Akudamas. Megumi caught Maya again, but with only few seconds left before the rocket take off, Maya managed to break free and took Kana and Tomoyo inside the rocket. The rocket took off but suddenly ran out of fuel. Before they hit the ground, Tomoyo managed to pull the emergency switch and they were separated from the rocket itself. When Tomoyo woke up, she immediately helped Kana. After the incident, Yoshiko was able to capture Maya, but the Akudamas escaped. Megumi entered the Science Research Institute in the Kansai North Ward and she wanted to know the secret to the immortality of Maya and Kana. Yoshiko gave Yumiri her new companion, named Teiko, and even though Yumiri refused, she had no choice but accept her new partner. When Tomoyo and Kana got back to Kansai, they planned to buy takoyaki, but people recognized her when she tried to pay for the food. The people around them immediately called the police, so they quickly ran away. Subaru and Megumi met and he told Megumi where to find one of the children. He managed to put a tracker on the thing he returned to Maya, that's why he could see its location from the tracker. Megumi offered Subaru to work with her and he could no longer refuse. Tomoyo and Kana went to a building and they were able to eat their meal. After that, she decided to cut her hair so that people would not immediately recognize her. Suddenly, 3 men came and were planning to sell them. But Tomoyo managed to kill both. Fortunately, Yuichiro came and killed the other one. Tomoyo fainted and when she woke up, Yuichiro handed to Kana what Maya asked him to deliver. Yuichiro was about to leave but Tomoyo begged him to take them to Maya's location. At first Yuichiro refused her but Tomoyo managed to persuade him and changed his mind. Yuichiro brought Tomoyo and Kana to his place to discuss Maya's possible location. Since the executioners took him, it was possible that he was brought to the execution department. Tomoyo posted online that by the 12th hour the Akudamas would gather. She did not think that it would become trending, causing people to panic outside because there were other people pretending to be vigilantes who wanted to remove the Akudamas. Most of these people were outside the police station, and the police chief could no longer control the situation, so he asked Yoshiko for help. These vigilantes demanded the prisoners there to be killed. When Cutthroat was looking for Tomoyo, he entered the execution department headquarters because he could feel Tomoyo there. Meanwhile, Yuichiro learned that Maya would be taken to Kansai station by helicopter. So they had to get to the rooftop immediately before it took off. On their way, they had gone into the room where Cutthroat was waiting. Cutthroat told them that he wanted to kill Tomoyo. They had to fight him so they can leave. Then Tomoyo ran to lure Cutthroat out and entered another one. But Cutthroat followed her and begged her to surrender because he would never kill her anymore. Tomoyo slowly opened the door, then rushed to attack Cutthroat with the executioner's weapon. But he managed to grab her, so Tomoyo stabbed him again. Yuichiro took Kana and they went to Tomoyo. When they arrived at the rooftop, the helicopter where Maya was boarded had just left. They chased it until they reached the place where people blocked the way to prevent the Akudama from entering. On the other hand, Yoshiko forced the police chief to declare the people rioting outside as Akudama. Because of this, the robots also attacked the people who blocked Yuichiro on the road, for they were now considered as Akudamas. Because of the chaos, Yuichiro had a chance to get through these vigilantes. Even the people outside the police station and in other area had been attacked by the executioners. When the executioners reached the Kansai station, they quickly boarded the elevator and Yuichiro was not able to catch up with them. When the Shinkansen arrived, they also put Maya in the vault. Suddenly Yuichiro arrived and Yumiri immediately sent the vault to enter the Shinkansen. They met Megumi and they found out about the tracker inside the thing that Maya gave. Megumi took Teiko as hostage so that Yumiri would stop the vault. Subaru also aimed his knife at Tomoyo so that Yuichiro would not attack as well. But Tomoyo said something to Subaru about Shunsuke that made him remove the knife on her neck, giving Yuichiro a chance to shoot his hand. Then Megumi told Subaru what she did to Shunsuke's wound, causing him to die from excessive blood loss during his fight with Aiko. Megumi ordered Yumiri to take Maya from the vault. When Yumiri got close to it, she ordered Megumi to kill Tomoyo and Subaru. But there were a lot of people rushed inside, so Subaru attacked Megumi, but she also managed to kill him. The people prayed that they would be taken to the Kanto, and when the doors of the Shinkansen opened, people quickly ran into the Shinkansen, causing them to step on the body of Megumi. Suddenly, the Shinkansen took the vault inside, so before the doors closed, Yuichiro entered immediately together with Tomoyo and Kana. When they reached Kanto, Tomoyo and Yuichiro dreamed about the coin when they first met. They woke up from this because of Shun's help through what he gave to Tomoyo before they part ways. Shun said that although he was monitoring them, they would not be able to find his real body. He added that the rabbit and shark they saw were the program made for brainwashing. This was their way of separating the body and mind of a person who would enter Kanto. This was the truth about the decontamination zone. If he wasn't there, Tomoyo and Yuichiro might end up like other people who ride the Shinkansen that suddenly disappeared. When they got out, they saw the floating ruined buildings and huge rocks. Above it they saw the so-called quantum supercomputer. According to Shun, after the war, people in Kanto began to convert their minds to data. They created a place to store data, and this was the quantum supercomputer. It's where the people had gone when they went to enter Kanto. Suddenly they found Maya and Kana above them. Shun informed them that the quantum supercomputer was currently transferring Kanto's data to their mind. After Tomoyo heard this, she did not hesitate to go to Maya and Kana to rescue them. But there was a gravitational wave defense surrounding them, causing Tomoyo to fall. Shun told them that it was impossible to save them from the outside. But since Shun managed to get into Kanto, there was still a chance that he could save them safely from the inside. So Shun started to enter and he immediately saw both Maya and Kana. But he struggled because of the firewalls that blocked him. He thought that he had failed, when suddenly the siblings of Maya came to help him from the thing that he was carrying. Because of this they were able to save them Maya and Kana. Shun gave Tomoyo the coordinates of the place he discovered that they could go to. He got them into the Shinkansen for he would take them back to Kansai. When they arrived, the executioners blew up the Shinkansen. So they hid while the executioners were still looking for them. Tomoyo returned the coin that Yuichiro dropped and told him that it changed her life unexpectedly. She begged him to accept this and asked him to bring Maya and Kana safely to Shikoku. In order for Yuichiro to leave, Tomoyo confronted the executioners and pretended to be an ordinary citizen. But the executioners immediately recognized her and one of them attacked, causing her to die on the spot. When Yuichiro arrived at the police station, he fought against the group of Yumiri. A child appeared and when Teiko was about to put the kid aside, it shot him. It turned out that the parents of this child were among those killed by the executioners. Other citizens also came to stop them. Then Yoshiko found out the video of Tomoyo's murder was repeatedly showed to people all over the place. And it was Tomoyo herself who set it up before her death. The video showed Tomoyo introducing herself as an ordinary citizen, but the executioner immediately attacked her, so the citizens got angry towards the executioners. Yuichiro attacked the tower at the police station and that gave them a chance to escape. But they were still being chased, so Yuichiro asked them to get off. He told them that after that mountain they would reach Shikoku. The children immediately left while Yuichiro fought those chasing them. He managed to destroy two but one got past him. Due to Shun's emergency program, the entire area suddenly lost electricity. The aircraft that was following the children was affected by it. So Yuichiro took advantage of this and immediately shot it, causing it to explode. Maya and Kana successfully escaped and they reached the entrance to Shikoku. This is where our story ends. I hope you like it and give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel so you won't miss new uploaded videos. Thank you for watching.